Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The today's video topic is law of supply in the subject of managerial economics. In the law of supply, we will see the assumption, definition, law of supply, determinants and all other factor affecting the law of supply. Let's start. The meaning of supply. What is supply? Supply refers to the quantity of commodity which producer or seller are willing to produce and offer for the sale at a particular price in a given market at a particular period of time. Supply is a relative term. It is always expressed in relative to price, time and quantity. And in the supply, price and quantity is an inverse relationship. After the meaning, now we will see the law of supply. Other thing being constant, higher the price of commodity, more is the quantity supply, and lower the price of commodity, less is the quantity supply. Direct relationship between price of commodity and quantity supply is here in the law of supply. Then next one is we will see the law of supply, however it is upward or downward. Supply curve. P means the price of commodity, Q means the quantity of commodity and S means the supply curve. In the diagram, we will see the supply curve is upward sloping from left to right, means from A to B it is upward sloping. Therefore, the price elasticity of supply will be positive. Demand is a downward sloping and supply is the upward sloping. In the diagram, we will see point A to point B, the supply curve is upward from left to right. After the law of supply, now we will see the assumption of supply. First one is no change in price of factor of production. It is assumed that there is no change in the cost of production. A change in cost of production will affect the profit of the seller. Therefore, less quantity will supplied at the same price. Second one is no change in the price of related goods. Price of other goods are assumed to remain constant. If they change, the law of supply may not hold true because producer may transfer resources to other products. That's the no change in price of related goods. Third one is price change in future not expected. The law also assumes that the seller do not expect future changes in the price of product. And fourth one is the no change in goal of related goods are also there. And fifth one is no change in weather condition. It is assumed that there is no change in the weather condition. Natural calamities like floods, earthquake, etc. may decrease supply. Then there is another one is no change in government policy. It is also assumed that government policies like taxation policy, trade policy, etc. remain unchanged. After the assumption of supply, now we will see the determinants of supply. First one is the factor of the cost of factor of production. Price is an important factor influencing the supply of a commodity. More quantity are supplied at a higher price and less quantities are supplied at a lower price. Thus, there is a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. Second one is the state of technology. Technological improvement reduces the cost of production, which lead to an increase in the production and cost of supply. Third one is the cost of production. If the factor price increases, the cost of production also increases as a result of supply decreases. Then fourth one is the tax and subsidies. That is government policies. Favorable government policies may encourage supply and unfavorable government policies may discourage the supply. Government policies like taxation, subsidies, industrial policy, etc. may encourage or discourages production and supply depending upon the government and measures. Then fifth one is a transportation. Infrastructure in the form of transport, communication, power, etc. influence the production process as well as a supply. Shortage of these facilities decrease the supply and vice versa. Then sixth one is the future expectation about price. If the price are expected to rise in the near future, the producer may withhold the stock. This will reduce the supply and vice versa. Now we will see the kinds of supply elasticity. There are 5 supply elasticities there. First one is a perfectly inelastic supply, unitary elastic supply and perfectly elastic. The meaning is percentage change in the price leads to percentage change in the supply is the supply elasticity. In that first one is a perfectly inelastic. If there is a no change in supply but there is change in price is the perfectly inelastic supply. Elasticity is equal to 0. Then inelastic supply. Percentage change in the supply is less than percentage change in the price is equal to answer is negative. So elasticity of supply is 0 minus 1. Then third one is a unitary elastic. Percentage change in price equals to percentage change in supply. So unitary elastic elasticity of unitary elastic is equal to 1. Then elastic supply. In that percentage change in the price leads to percentage change in supply is more than percentage change in the price. So elasticity supply is equal to 1 minus 0. So is equal to more than 1. After that perfectly inelastic. Perfectly inelastic is equal to infinity. So there is no change in price but there is change in supply and supply is increases. So elasticity of perfectly elastic is equal to infinity. That the 5 types of supply elasticity. Then another thing is a factor influencing elasticity of supply. In that first one is a nature of commodity. If the commodity is perishable in nature, then the elasticity of supply will be less. Durable goods have high elasticity of supply. Then second one is a time period. In the time period, if the operational time period is short term supply is elastic, when the production process period is longer, the elasticity supply will be relatively elastic. Then third is scale of production. In the scale of production, small scale producer supply inelastic in nature compared to the larger producer. After that, size of the firm and number of products. If the firm is a large scale industry and has more variety of product, then it can easily transfer the resources. Therefore, supply of such product is highly elastic. Then natural of factors. Natural calamities can affect the production of agriculture producer, so they are relatively inelastic. And last one is the nature of production. If the commodities need to workmanship or for a artistic goods, the elasticity supply will be high. That all the factors are influencing the elasticity of supply. Thank you very much. I hope you like the video and understand what I am trying to say about the supply, law of supply. Thank you.